I think the challenge model, the online workshop model, is probably the best way to sell premium offers that are anywhere from 10,000 to 50,000 or maybe even higher. You can sell within that 5-day range. So you had close to 200 people signed up. Fair to say we did multi 6 figures in revenue. Is it fair to say that?
Yep, that's fair to say. Yeah. Had a very, very successful event. My clients were extremely happy with the outcome. If I did not have the support, I think I would have never ran the workshop.
What type of business owners do you think would benefit from doing a workshop like this?
Personally, I can speak from my own experience. Anyone who has an
All right, so Arvin Haddad, dude, I got to start by saying what happened with your Perfect Mansion workshop was absolutely incredible. I mean, dude, you went from not ever running a live event, virtual event before ever,
never. Yeah, never.
to doing one and generating what most people don't even make in a year in like 5 days, right? And I know, like, listening to this, it might sound crazy, like that might sound too good to be true, but trust me, we both lived through it, so we know it's real. I've done it as well. But what I want to do in this video is I really want to break down the whole entire process, right? Like the good, the bad, the behind the scenes of what we did to generate this amazing success, so people watching can just like replicate it and do it for themselves. Now, Arvin, just to be clear, you're not an internet marketing guru, right?
No. I know how to make content, but I don't come from a marketing background. No.
Gotcha. But you are a luxury real estate guru, right? And so what you have done with your YouTube channel, bro, is like super impressive. I mean, you've built up a subscriber base of like 140,000 subscribers, and you've done it fairly quickly. Like, why do you think that built up so fast? Like, what did you do to build your YouTube following so fast?
I think probably the number one thing, if you want to do content, you got to do something that you absolutely eat up every day anyways, right? I didn't go talk about stuff that I kind of like or I think it's cool. I went off after talking about material that I work with. So every day in, day out experience with clients, selling houses, buying houses for them, and having a North Star really helped me focus in and zero in on the content that I really want to create, because it was never about making money from the content. It was never about getting sub count. It was about spreading the message, right? That a lot of people are making mistakes and people don't know.
And your content is like it's super entertaining. It's actually hilarious. I watched some of them. Like, if you guys haven't seen Arvin's stuff, go check him out. He critiques some of the most amazing mansions ever, but he does these little funny things and quirky things all throughout it, and it's hilarious. Real quick, what's the most expensive house you've ever sold?
36 million. Yeah, it's right next to it's in Homeby Hills, right next to Playboy Mansion.
So you've already been super successful in real estate, right? What made you get into consulting and all this online business stuff?
You know, it was, I would say, initially I was focusing on creating content, and I thought, what if I just give out free information to everyone, right? And that would be my marketing. So it wasn't ever to make money online. It was never into like the Google, YouTube ad revenue or sponsors or consulting. However, as the channel grew, people had a lot of questions. People would ask me questions, and I thought consulting would be a good way of stabilizing my income and meeting people. Because I think most people don't know this, but being a content creator is a pretty lonely job. You spend a lot of time in a studio by yourself. I thought about consulting could kind of bring that dynamic back to my life of just actually having that human interaction more often, and also stabilizing my income, because I could go sell a $36 million home and not sell anything for 6 months or 3 months, and then go sell 2 homes for $20 million. So you're
like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's a pretty much a roller coaster income. So I was like, if I can both meet new people that I like, that are already asking for help from me, and stabilize my income, it would be. But I never took consulting as a serious business initially.
Yeah, and it's also cool too, like doing consulting, you're actually able to dive into people's specific situations and give them very customized feedback. So you're helping out. And I honestly personally think that there's a lot of people out there that would be amazing coaches and like they have a bunch of wisdom to give. I think the problem with most people is that they lack that confidence of stepping up and becoming that leader, or they don't even really even know what to teach. They're like, I want to teach, but I don't know what to teach. So like with your workshop, like what did you actually teach people in the workshop?
So the workshop is geared. It's a 5-day workshop where the first 3 days I teach the 10 principles of quality. Where how do you even evaluate a residential real estate? There was never a systematic setup to analyze residential real estate and grade it and understand its weaknesses and its strength. And I developed this system out of kind of just curiosity. And I have an engineering background and I'm very analytic. And I always thought like, I need to break down that feeling that people get when they walk into a property and they say, I like it. Okay. Let's mathematically break that down and what elements, a combination of elements that you put next to each other would create that goosebump feeling when you walk into a door and you like the property.
Let's talk strategy, right?
Sure.
Um, so for like the challenge, like I want anyone who's listening right now, they might not even know what a workshop is, an online shop, virtual challenge. They don't even know what this is, right? And why it's so powerful. First of all, so you guys know, the online workshops, virtual events, challenges, the real reason why it's so powerful is because it's a one to many model, right? It's scalable. You can shove as many people as you possibly can fit inside of a Zoom room. And now the same exact amount of energy that you would use to train one person, you can use that same amount of energy to train 100 people or 1,000 people.
And you get more energy out of the audience. That's another part of it too. It's actually more fun for the creator, for the teacher, and more fun for the audience. It's like a community. So it's a way better way of doing,
I agree 100%.
transferring knowledge, shall we say?
And how many people did we have sign up for your workshop?
I think close to 200.
Yeah. So very first time you get close to 200 people signed up for your workshop, right? So that's the first reason why you guys should consider doing workshops. The second one is what you're doing throughout this 5 days is you're really warming people up, right? People are getting to spend a lot of time with you in a very, very quick amount of time, if that makes any sense, right? Because there's this study that Google put out called the 7-11-4 rule. And it basically says that in order for people to finally feel secure enough to buy something from you, they need to spend 7 hours consuming your content. They need to have at least 11 interactions with you across 4 different formats. So maybe like it's YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, right? 4 different formats. And so what you need to do is you need to get those people to consume your content faster, right? And so what we do in 5 days, you're spending 2 hours a day for 5 days straight. So within 5 days, they've already hit all of those parameters. So by the end of the challenge, they're ready to buy whatever it is that you're selling, if you are selling something.
Yeah, if you're
Right?
selling something, the way I run my workshops is that I transfer everything I know, right? That you can
Mm-hmm.
physically teach in a 1 or 2 hour, depending if you're a VIP or regular admission, in a
Yeah.
5-day period. So it's action packed, right? So you come in, we start off right off bat, no goofing around or chit chatting. We jump right into it. And during the 5 days, I teach everything I know that physically possible in 5 hours of lecture and 5 hours of Q&A to you. And then if you want me to do that for you, I will invite you to my inner circle where you can get, 12 months of support, and I will hold your hand during the whole renovation process, purchase process, sell process of property
Right.
you're doing. So
Yes.
it's basically, here's what I know. Go do it yourself. If you want me to do it, join my inner circle.
So smart. And that's like the third, and that on to me, that's like the best part of this whole thing is that I think the challenge model, the online workshop model is probably the best way to sell premium offers that are anywhere from 10,000 to 50,000 or maybe even higher. You can sell within that 5-day range, right? And they're way different than other sales mechanisms like webinars. Webinars are great for selling anything, I'd say less than $1,000, right? You can get that done probably in an hour, 2-hour webinar. but it's going to be very difficult for you to sell a very high ticket, like premium value, $20,000, $30,000 thing in an hour. And it's also very different from sales calls, right? Because sales calls, you can sell $1 million things, right? But it's not scalable, right? You are literally going to be on sales calls all day long. Like for instance, like how long would it have taken you to do like 200 and something sales calls?
Yeah. Forever. Yeah.
And it's very important to have those offers available for people, because the thing is, if you don't have these premium value offers for these people who are looking for it, you're not stopping people from spending money. You're just stopping them from spending money with you, right? So they're going to go off and buy it from someone else. So I would highly encourage anyone listening right now, even if you don't have a very high value, high premium type of offer, I would start writing it down and have that thing ready, because before you know it, you're going to have a very hot, like elite client come to you, and they're going to be like, look, I don't want all this cheap stuff that you're selling online, right? I want the behind the scenes red carpet behind the rope thing. What's that look like? So I think that everyone should have one of those offers for sure. So switching gears a little bit, man, why did you decide to kind of bring us on to help you build out this workshop? Like, what were you looking for us to kind of come in and take off of your plate?
Well, to be honest, I didn't even know what to expect, right? Like, it was my first time doing it, and and this was a live event, right? I don't even create live. I don't even do lives on YouTube, right? So I'm not someone who's really comfortable doing lives, and or at least till then. Now I am for sure. After that 5 days, I'm super comfortable doing lives, and it's actually a lot more fun. I would say, but I think the main factor was that I need support. I need help. And I'm super coachable myself. I have a life coach, I have a fitness coach, I've had, probably 20 different coaches in the last, 10 years of my life. So when I try to do something, I look for people who've done it before and can walk me through it. Right. So I immediately was like, okay, if I want to do this the right way, the last thing I want is screwing it up and damaging my reputation the first time I'm doing this. I need to be 100% focused on delivering the content in a perfect way that adds the most value. And the regular admission gets at the very minimum 10x the value, and the VIP gets 10x their value at the very minimum, right? But that was like my mindset, right? So I need to
Gotcha.
find out who's done this before, what needs to be done in the back end to run a smooth operation on a live event that I've never done before. So there were a couple of things. I was like, I can either go figure this out on my own and take time out of practicing my content for my teaching, or focus on what software to use, not to make sure the Facebook group is working, to make sure the live stream is on point, make sure the files and the homework assignments are all organized, the landing pages are set. There's a ton of stuff that you have to do on the back end. And the last thing I wanted to do was be worried about this stuff.
Right.
And to be honest, even learn about that stuff. So I still don't know how you really did it. But I was like, you know what? I neither want to learn how to do it or do it, right? So I was like, I want someone who's done it a million times to do it
Yeah.
for me, and just make sure everything goes smoothly. So the first event went so smooth, with zero glitches and zero, like, nothing, which I still don't know what you did, but I nothing went wrong. So so I still don't know exactly what happens in the back end, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to just do what I do really well,
Yeah.
and the results.
Your wish is your command.
Yeah,
You
and
got
the
it.
result was at the end of the workshop, I asked everyone I offered 100% money back guarantee. Not a single person asked for the money back. Not a single person. So that means not just my teaching was good, the experience was good. The homeworks assignments were there. There was no downtime. The live never cut out. People asked questions in a proper manner. The questions were answered in the order they were answered. No one got pissed off. People wrote testimonials. People had a pleasant experience throughout the whole process. So a lot of that goes to what you guys did on the back end, which I wasn't even paying attention to. And I think that was an enormous value. The last thing I wanted to do during that workshop is being worried about the back end, the software, the live stream, the administrative stuff with the process, and you guys just like nailed it to a point that I don't even know what you did because nothing went wrong.
Hmm. You said you said something earlier that hit me. You said a word. You were like, I need to immediately figure out who's going to help me, right?
Yeah,
And this is something that I always tell my community, my students, is success loves speed,
yeah,
right? You must have hired me within 20 minutes of meeting me,
yeah. I
right?
did.
So like literally we met and you hired me within probably 20 to 25 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating, right?
Yeah,
Do you think that that speed of execution has anything to do with the success that you had with the
I
workshop?
genuinely think most people just lose time, money by being indecisive. I'm extremely decisive. Okay. When I decide something to do something, I commit. I do my research thoroughly. I find the right person. Then I don't question myself. I don't second guess myself. I commit. Right. And for better or worse, I go in. And I did that with you and it paid off brilliantly. Right. I had a very, very successful event. I my clients were extremely happy with the outcome, both as far as education and the process. And I think, yeah, I think it just you got to move, right? If you're sitting down and contemplating, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Do your research, find the right person who's done it before, and hire them. Just be very analytical. But for me, it's really easy because I'm very analytical person. I do my research. I look at the best options. I evaluate things pretty quickly in my head, and I'm like, this person has done the back end many times over and he knows exactly what to do, not just on the back end. I think one of the things that I probably valued more than doing the back end was your knowledge of running workshops before because you were giving me feedback during the workshop, right, by being present in my workshop and like facilitating questions and making sure people getting their PDFs online and the live streams are smooth and we're recording everything. It was that you were like you were also some somewhat coaching me in a way to say, Arvin, like you can do like you're doing this and this really well, but you're not engaging the audience, right? Like get them excited, like give them breaks, do this, right? Like you were feeding me this stuff, which I guess I don't know which one I appreciated more, but because nothing went wrong on the back end, I didn't even notice anything, right? And maybe in some ways I'm not giving you enough credit for how smooth went everything went on the back end because that's my expectation now is like nothing goes wrong, right?
Right,
So
right, right.
what I really
I've
got
created
the
a monster.
most
I've created a
was like
monster.
I had a coach right during the whole setup is saying like get the participants to viewers to participate in the question. Don't talk so fast. Slow down a little bit. Do that right. Like you were actually helping me as an audience as a feedback mechanism who's sat in so many workshops before giving me these technical feedbacks that was gold. It was so valuable at the time. And I think I've just as far as by doing one workshop, I learned as much as someone who would do 10 workshops, right? By having a coach.
RFA squad, what's going on, guys? So, really quick break from the video. We ran some data recently. We found that over 50% of people who watch these videos aren't even subscribed to the channel, right? So, first of all, if you are watching right now, thank you for tuning in. And second of all, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the button now because we literally drop videos like this every single week to help you with your marketing. And if you are a coach or a consultant, industry expert, someone who's looking to start selling premium offers online through the online workshop model, I would highly recommend that you book a call with us because we've been doing this for years. We've ran dozens and dozens of our own events and we've helped other clients do the same thing. And we actually come in and set the entire thing up for you. All the software, the back-end email automations, the Zooms. We coach you each day so to make sure that everything goes off super smooth. So click the link in the description. We have all the information there. And if it sounds like something that you want to do, let's talk. Now, with that being the case, let's get back into the conversation.
I think that was incredible value that you provided by sharing your experience, both on the back end, making sure everything is smooth, I can focus on what I'm doing, but also uh, uh making me a pro, right? Like as far as like my communication skills, my engagement with the audience, my the speed of my dialogue, uh all those stuff, those little things that really make that workshop pleasant for everyone. You coached me throughout. So
And well,
uh,
one thing that made it work too is that you're a good student, right? You listened to what I told you, and not only did you hear it, but you acted on it, right? There's so
yeah.
many people who they hire coaches, and then the coach tells them what to do, and then they don't do it,
See,
right?
that's what I say. Like, if you get a coach, you gotta submit,
Yes.
okay? Like, that's my thing. Don't get a coach if you're gonna do your own thing. One of my first thing is I don't care where you're from, I don't care how much money you make, I don't care what's your background. Do your research when you hire someone. Once you hire that person, you submit yourself to their style. Even though I'm extremely knowledgeable at my source, I've never ran a workshop before. I've never even done a live show before, let alone a 5-day live workshop. So when you were giving me feedback, I was like, that's what I have to do. And it worked. Every time you would tell me, Arvin, like, you're talking too fast. Slow it down, buddy. Slow it down. You still have another four, or you're going too slow, Arvin. You're like, you need to go faster. Like you need to cover all this stuff in this many minutes.
Isn't it
Um,
amazing? Like, but then once you know it, it's like ingrained in your brain now, and
yeah.
it's like you just know it. And now watch what happens to the next workshop, bro.
Yeah. No,
The
it's
next
it
workshop.
really, it's like running a successful workshop. It's like an orchestra symphony, right? Like you got to make sure the trumpets are playing at the same time.
Yes,
It's a show. It's
it
really a,
is.
if you're a creator, it's really a show as far as it's not just the content you're teaching, right? Because we all went to university, we all went to college and school, and we had those boring teachers, and we had those fun teachers that you just sat in the front of the class and you just
Yes,
love to learn, right? Like you could
yes.
not wait. And there were very few of them. Like maybe 10% of your teachers ever like wowed you. And
Mhm.
my first experience being like a in a classroom setting, like this is online, but it's pretty much, it's a 200 close to 200 people class, right? So I was like, the question I'm asking myself is like, do I want to be the boring teacher that I nobody was listening to, or do I want to be that teacher who like every person in the audience was fascinated by and just learned and they were glued to their screen and engage and it's becoming harder and harder with how much attention spans have shrunk. And you helped me so much on the psychology of being a good presenter, psychology um, of teaching, speed, engagement, and all those stuff was possible because nothing else went wrong in the back end, right?
Right,
Imagine,
right, right.
like, how could you both do your content right and your presentation right when the Facebook just stops presenting and like you have 200 people who get kicked out from a freaking, like it's a disaster, right? Like how do you even recover from that? People are pissed. They just paid so much. So I think I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I'm so glad I signed up with you for a whole year. And I personally recommend. I mean, I've had such a great experience with you. We've become a good friends in the process. Where we now chit chat and talk all the time. But also, I'm so glad that you're going to be there for me for the next 3 or 4 workshops I'm going to do in the next 12 or 10 months. So it feels like I have someone, right? It really feels like I have someone who backs me up, coaches me during the time when I'm on those calls, and who's sat in hundreds, if not thousands, of these workshops before, and can coach me while I'm coaching other people and make sure nothing goes wrong. So I highly recommend anyone who's never um, ever, even if you have run workshops before, if you had bad experience and you want someone to really look after you, make sure everything goes smoothly, and also have that kind of a coach of looking at your performance and saying like, look, like you're sucking right now, raise it up, buddy. Like these people paid a lot
Mhm.
of money, get your game together. It was amazing. It was a really good experience, I would say.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And a lot of people really, when they're putting on a workshop challenge, whatever it is, they think that it's going to take a super long time to set up because there is a lot of moving parts, right?
Yeah.
But I think we got your system set up like literally from the time we met
Yeah.
to the time we had the system set up, capturing payments, collecting leads. It was 8 days, right? I'm actually curious, my own curiosity. How long did was that? It was that surprising to you how fast it went, or were you expecting
No,
it to go
because
that?
I don't know any other.
Okay.
I don't. You've set the standard so high, like, if anything goes wrong now, I'll be pissed. Um, that's my bar now. Whatever that is, that was amazing. Honestly, it was to get everything on board so quickly was amazing. Again, I think to a degree, or it's kind of like bad for you, when nothing goes wrong, you people might not appreciate it as much.
It's so true. No, it's so true. It's like we almost have to remind them, like, hey,
Yeah,
by the
it's like,
way,
this could have gone wrong. This could have gone wrong. People payment could have not come. Like customer service could have been crap, but like everything went like, of course. It
can you imagine that? That's a good hypothetical question, real quick, right? Like, let's just imagine for a second you decided not to hire me.
okay.
What do you think that experience would have been like?
I honestly think the pressure would have even discouraged me to run the workshop.
Mm,
I don't know if I would have gone through with it.
wow.
If I did not have the support, I think I would have never ran the workshop because it's daunting. Like, it's really daunting and pressuresome to go alone, to do it by yourself. There's so many moving parts. It's really a professional's work, right? Um, I would have not had the confidence to charge anything for my course or workshop if I didn't feel like I would have the support and be able to deliver. But I recognize that uh, my first one, even my second one up, I don't think I would do it without you. I just I just want like I want a pro to be on the back end and handling that stuff. I do not want to worry about that
Well,
stuff.
it's cool now too because now you have, your guy that's in there, like an operator that we've
Yeah.
also kind of trained and
Yeah,
combed through and made
which
sure
was
that
a
and
huge
now
part of what you did also in the whole process. You trained my own team to do what you do, right? Which was a huge, like, again, it's I think knowledge is everything, right? If anyone who adds value on a scale that me and you add value to our clients is willing to share that value for any price, right? You should take it if you know you can leverage that information and even make more money.
that
So
just made me think about something for a second, man. Like we always think of like people talk about how coaching is so important and mentorship is so important and it's almost become watered down and people are they're almost tired of hearing about coaching. But think about this for a second. What if the inverse was true? What if coaching didn't exist? What if the ability to hire a mentor wasn't even an option?
oh my god.
Can
It
you
would be
imagine?
so discouraging. It would be so discouraging. To me, I think I would have been a bum. I don't think I would have done anything.
100%.
Yeah, because I would have been scared of failure. I would have been scared of disappointing other people. I think I would have been really, really scared to take a step forward. My number one currency I value in this world is knowledge. So
Yeah.
coaching to me is everything I
It
love,
was
right?
just such a weird, like, thought that can't sprang in my head, like, wow, like, people what if coaching didn't even exist? Like, so anyway, like, listening right now, you better be happy that coaches are even here,
Yeah,
right? Like, mentorships are even available for you to invest into, right?
yeah.
Let's talk results of the challenge, right? So you had close to 200 people signed up, right? We don't wanna talk specifics, but let's just fair to say we did multi six figures in revenue. Is it fair to say that?
Yep, that's fair to say. Yeah. Yeah. I think financially it was very, very, successful. So you obviously have the ticket sales of people who wanna just learn what you know. You teach them their knowledge, and then there are people who wanna say, "Thanks for teaching me your knowledge. Now I want you to do it for me." What I'm super happy about is all the people who are in the inner circle now, and we have our, Q&As, and we've become
Yeah. How's
really
that
close.
been going for you?
It's so much fun. It's so good. It's like having a family. Again, this whole, like, if anyone is thinking about becoming a consultant, first of all, make sure you know your, like, if you got to know what you're talking about Don't become a fake guru. If you're not knowledgeable about it, go get coached first, and then come
It
to the
won't
scene
last.
and try to share that, right?
You can
Um,
only fake the funk for so long.
yeah, you gotta know what you're doing, right? And I think one of the best things that during the workshop, half of the day was lecture, the other half was Q&A. So
Mhm.
imagine hundreds of people are in a Q&A asking me questions point blank, like, "Hey, fix this layout right now. Do this right now," right? They're asking you
And
like
there were
direct.
some
You have
questions that people were asking, I was like, "Does he really know this? This
yeah,
is so hard."
and you have to come up with the right answer immediately, right?
Yeah.
So there's no room for error, and I can't believe like it went so well, and I was just like in my zone, and I was just like, boom, do this, do this, do this. And once I went through that process of the Q&A, it really, I was like, I'm on the right track. This is my thing because I'd never done consulting before in the scale of like group teaching, and I was
Yes.
like, I'm gonna enjoy this.
And
And
doesn't it
exactly.
build up your confidence too? Like it almost reminds you of how much you know.
Yeah. Because everyone has that voice in their head that says you're not good enough, right? Like I do too. Like, at this some days you're, like, thinking, like, "Oh, am I really that good? Am I that" but then when you do it in front of other people live with, like, just on the spot, you have no idea what questions they're gonna ask you, and you just solve the problem on the spot, and everyone is, like, has an aha moment. You watch 100 people's, like, eyes just lit up on the Zoom, and then you go next one, then you do it again and again and again, and then you at the end, people are like, okay, this guy knows this, he knows this material really well. The lecture was great, and that he can solve that problem for me if I ask him to. I rather join his inner circle because, like, he can do it better than me right now. I have to go spend 6 months learning this what he teaches, or I can just pay him and he would just do it for me.
That's cool,
So
man.
yeah, I'm
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 glad
I'm
I'm glad
super
I'm
happy
glad
doing
that
it.
you're enjoying that, man. Because I know we've been doing the group coaching and the inner circle vibe now for about 3 years, and it's just been such a game changer,
Yeah,
man. Um, we're definitely gonna start wrapping it up here.
sure.
So what type of business owners do you think would benefit from doing a workshop like this? What do you think? Who would get the most benefit from kind of adopting this online workshop challenge kind of model?
Personally, I can speak from my own experience. Anyone who has a knowledge set and has a system that they can teach, and that system is um, both easy enough that people can learn the basics pretty fast and could be taught in 5 days,
Hmm.
and also complicated enough that, or I would say, the problem it solves is expensive enough where someone would say, you know what, I rather have a master do it for me, solve it for me.
That's good.
So if you have those two conditions, I think you have a good formula for using a workshop format, right? It's 5 days you gotta talk about stuff. You gotta have a lot of material to talk about, right? So I could probably do a 20-day workshop if I wanted to, but it's exhausting. I would say at the end of it too, I almost lost my voice, which
I
was
told
pretty.
you.
Yeah, you were telling me, it's like, "Arvin, you're talking too loud. Have the
It
hot
wasn't
water
even
with
that. I
honey."
think the first day you went over like an hour and a half or something, and I
Yeah,
had
the first
so
day
I
I
had
went over by an hour and a half. You're like, "Don't do that, Arvin. By day 5, you will lose your
yeah,
voice."
and I told you I was like, I know, like, okay. So also, by the way, when we get off this call, don't talk for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember, and but still by day 5, I almost lost my voice. It was
I
intense.
know,
Yeah.
I know. It's crazy. Like, so I did it too. That's why I have so much tea and so much honey
Yeah, I
in
was having
my
hot water and tea.
yeah, yeah. Like, I'm gonna go bathe in it, right?
And anyways, brother, I wanna thank you for everything you've done. You were definitely a lot more than just a consultant, I would say. You were a friend during the whole time. You, again, you made sure nothing went out wrong in the back end, and you didn't pay me for this interview. I volunteered for this interview to do it just to as a token of, uh, um, gratitude towards for you going all out, right? Like, I think you went really above and beyond what we agreed on to make sure I nailed my first um, uh, workshop, and I want to thank you for it.
I
And
appreciate that,
you
man.
definitely deserve the testimonial and the accolades that I'm giving you because you went above and beyond, and you're a good guy. and I love talking to you and just talking to you about the whole consulting business. We chit chat all the time, and we kind of cross reference points of how to become better consultants in our
Yes,
own
man.
fields, and so I really value the friendship, and I know anybody going through the same experience as I did, I think they will get incredible amount of value. I can't even imagine doing it without you. Again, not even just for the first time. I don't want to go through this process alone. I think it would be useful for as long as I do workshops to have someone next to me, making sure everything goes smoothly. And even for someone who wants to hire their own person, I think they need to know the best practices, right? They need to know the exact best practices. So, what I love about it is that you told me, it's like, hey, Arvin, you need to hire your own person. You need to bring in your own person. I will train them for you, and it's part of the offering you do to your clients, right? So again, I think most people would try to hold you hostage to that. Be like, would be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna teach anybody. I'm this is my thing." But you actually share it with other people, so people
Yes.
can go on their own if they wish to. And I don't think I would. I think I'm gonna continue with you for as long as I can because you add so much value, and I also value your um, time on the calls where you give feedback as to my performance and everything. So
Right.
I want to thank you for everything you've done, brother.
I appreciate you so much, man. And it's been fun, dude. Like
Yeah,
honestly, seeing your journey from the mud
yeah.
to go from where we went to in such a quick amount of time, for me, it's fun. Like that's another reason why I tell people get into something that you love to do because this stuff does not feel like work. I mean, this is technically my job,
Yeah.
but this is fun.
Yeah, it is.
Like we're building automations and building funnels and watching people sign up and making money and changing lives and impacting people. Like, dude, why would you want to do anything else?
You like that part of the business. That's fun for you. It's not for me. I want someone who thinks it's really fun like you doing it.
Exactly. And that's why we're the partnership, brother. That's
Yeah,
amazing, man.
you're
Well,
very, very good at it. So it's really cool the way you do it, and again, I wanna thank you, brother.
Arvin, where can people find you, man? I want people to know about you, go follow you.
Yeah, so you can go on Arvin Haddad on YouTube and find my YouTube channel, or you can go to arvinhaddad.com, ARVINHADDAD.com, and I'm here to serve.
Let's go. Go check them out, guys. This has been an amazing episode. Go take action on an online workshop. If this has inspired you, drop a comment below. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notifications, and all that YouTube stuff. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.